Are we live?
We're live.
We're live, caller.
All right. Well, I wanted everybody to be as surprised as I was.
Well, good afternoon,
Everybody. How are you?
Yeah, it's been a few weeks.
It has been.
We want to apologize to our listeners that we were away for a couple of weeks. We had some. First off, I was sick. Did not feel well last week, and
I went to the Panthers game.
you went to the Panthers game.
That was fun.
And the week before, if you can't tell from the studio, we got a little bit of
Yeah, a little revamp.
little remodel,
Yeah,
a little bit. I
looks
know it
nice
doesn't
in here.
look like it from maybe the screen for our folks listening, but
Oh, it looks really nice.
it is very nice. Mike did a great job here at the studio with the new wall, the new digital wall that we have behind us here at
Yeah.
the studio.
Yeah, it looks good.
So,
Brighter, I think, too.
Yeah.
A lot of lights.
I also want to, if you don't mind, Jeff,
Mm-hmm.
is first off, give a birthday shout out and a little bit of a moment of silence for a friend that we've lost at his birthday. Good friend of both of ours, known Matt since I was 8 years old.
Yeah,
And,
might have been 18.
He Matt and I, as the years went on and we all got older and started having families and kids and responsibilities and stuff like that, we always talked. We always were friends. He's a brother. He's I put him on the category of you as my brother, as my best friend, whatever that's worth these days. We said something this morning that you get friends along the way, and for the most part, friends get married, they have children, they move away, better their lives, do something different. But your real true friends, and there's a good picture. Your real true friends are the ones that you always can count on to make you laugh, be there for you when you need to talk to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and to support you with pretty much everything you do in life, or tell you when you messed up.
Yeah.
And Matt, it was all those things. Matt
That
was,
dude had a way with words, man.
yeah, Matt. I don't think there was a time that guy didn't. Even
Agreed.
when he was, maybe not doing things that we all liked, and driving truck and tractor trailer across the country, and not being around a little bit, and stuff like that, and having kids, stuff like that, with his career, and he thought he was doing what he had to do for his career and for his career and his kids. He always supported them, and Madison, and Tyler. And I'll tell you what, man.
Good kids, by the way.
Yeah, no, I miss him tremendously. Because, again, I had all those conversations similar to like you.
Yeah.
If I need to call you, I call you.
Yeah.
And there's something that's still missing in my heart every day is that I can't call him.
Yeah.
And I can't laugh with him, and I can't see where he's at. I can't argue. So I want to ask that everybody that's listening to us, give a moment of silence for our friend Matt Burrell is gone, but today is his birthday. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know him as long
Anyway.
as you did. You met him. Well, you guys live in the same neighborhood as kids.
Same neighborhood.
I met him after high school. I've always told people, man, like Kelly always, I remember when Kelly and I first started dating, he was around, and my sister-in-law went to school with Matt, so Amy was in the same grade.
Right.
So they knew who he was, and they all said it was funny or whatever. And I remember when that happened, I told Kelly one day, I'm like, it's funny. I could sit here and tell 900 stories of just when he lived with us for, I don't know, 6 months or whatever it was. I mean, just the laughs that you had with that guy. And I told you on the way over here, I said, I am going to bring it up, but you were, I think, 23 and I was 22 or turning 22. And Matt and I were sitting at the house and you had a date with, I don't even remember who the hell it was. And we found out that you went to, I think it was like Roadhouse or something like that. And he found out where you went and called the restaurant and disguised his voice as your mother. And they paged you over the loudspeaker to Philip, your mother is on the phone. And you get on the phone and you're like, hello. And you're like, and all I remember is Matt just doing typical Matt and popping off with, Philip, are you going to get me? And I am crying laughing. And then I think you said some choice words like, go F yourself, and hung up the phone. And then when you come home, you're dying laughing because we're still laughing at that crap. I mean, that's just him. Like he was, I could have been in the worst mood. I remember I'd come home sometimes like working for Brown and like when I worked for Budweiser and shit. And I'd be in the worst mood when I come home. And I don't know, man, like something he would say or do would just pique my interest. And it was hilarious. Like that guy was just by far one of the funniest people I've ever known. By far one of the funniest people.
I still have a recording of him that Mike gave me when he called him, left a message. And I listened to that thing probably once a month.
Yeah.
Just because, again, I can't call.
Yeah.
So it's hearing his voice was, again, there wasn't a time that I can remember. Even when I was mad at him.
You couldn't be mad at him, though. That's the problem.
He couldn't. Even when I was mad at him, he made me laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I think I remember one time I even said, like, man, I'm being serious. Like, but he just had that effect on me. He just made me laugh. He knew what to say at the right time. He knew how to joke around. He knew how to have fun. He knew how to enjoy life. He knew how to worst freaking athlete I've ever seen in my entire
100%,
life.
yes.
Goofy, Gomer Pyle.
Cornbread, eating, yeah.
And that part was even better because we were always
sports.
Always playing sports.
We always played sports.
And he would do some crazy crap when we were playing baseball or basketball or something as kids. And football or whatever, and even skateboarding. That was, I mean, picture this 6'4" goof bastard trying to freaking skateboard around the neighborhood.
He was great, man.
Man, he just, again, he's one of those people that touched my heart as a friend, touched me in more ways as a friend, as a brother. I have great friends because of him too. Mike and his brother and his family and his kids and his mom and Vic and Uncle Mart and Tony and Pat and Nick. And I mean, and the list goes on and on. Joni, who listens to us all the time too.
Good.
She was one of the people that were calling in a couple of weeks ago when we were
about the Mets.
About the Mets.
Yeah.
Or commenting on Facebook. So, yeah, I miss him terribly. I miss you, bud.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
Yeah, it's horrible, man.
Yeah,
horrible. But you know what? The way I look at it is like this, man. I mean, he's still watching, so.
Oh, he's with me. That's what I said. I listened to his stupid message that he left. Back, come here, you bitch. That's the one I have.
Yeah.
Now you call. Funny shit, but anyways, I also got one more thing to say.
All right.
Again, we weren't on the air last week, and throughout the last 4 years, I know for a fact that my heart, my intentions, my family's hearts, their intentions, my kids, my friends, the people that have supported me, the city of Boynton Beach, everybody has had the best intentions for what we've been trying to accomplish. And that's to bring something really special to this community. And, with Florida East Coast Travel League, that was kind of started by mistake. Honestly, this wasn't supposed to be a situation. The fields and the new scoreboards and the t-ball field and the new concession stands and the digital marquee sign and the indoor facility. That was my focus.
Right.
Florida East Coast Travel just kind of came around because of a lot of the situations that the city had asked me to make sure that I was doing, and that was giving out scholarship for kids and making sure no kids get left behind, and having programs for these kids to be able to enjoy all the things that we were going to do, because we all know baseball is an expensive sport. It's not the cheapest of the sports, and by far it's probably one of the most expensive.
Yes, it is.
If not the most expensive.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, between the bats and the baseballs and helmets and clothes, and the kids grow like weeds, and every 5 minutes you're buying another pair of cleats, and whatever.
I got to do that.
Yeah. So, I'm a person that has always said that I want to always be a man of my word, and if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And you know me a long time, and there's not a time when I don't think if you have ever asked me to do something, I don't do it. Unless I can't do it.
Truth.
But I don't agree to do anything that I don't set my mind forth to do it.
Yep.
So, we all know I've taken a lot of heat. It's no secret. It's no secret that there's some people that don't agree with the project. It's no secret that some people have labeled the project to be for profit, and that's all I care about. And that my motives aren't truly what I say they are. I can't emphasize enough. That couldn't be more false. Okay. I am doing this for one simple reason, truthfully. And I'm going to tell you that reason right now. I am doing this, and I am trying to do this project because I didn't forget where I came from. I know how much those fields mean to me. I know how much East Point Little League has meant to me, for meeting you, for meeting your family, for getting to meet people like Nick Quinn.
Yeah.
For getting to meet people like Nate Quinn and Kevin and Danny Palmer, he should rest in peace.
Yeah.
And playing baseball with, as funny as it was, with Matt.
Yeah.
And all the things that I got as a kid that I never forgot. And somewhere along the line, and I know this firsthand, Major League Baseball is a business. Youth sports is not supposed to be a business. It's not. Now, do I fault people for making it and doing it the right way to benefit kids and make money off? No, I don't. What I do fault is that if you're going to do something, do it with passion, do it with your heart, do it because it means something. Don't do it because it's going to give you a new Rolls Royce or Mercedes Benz or a nice new house on the beach.
Yeah.
Do it because you really, truly want it. Now, if you get all those things by doing it that way, fine. Great. God bless you. You did something well. Like, there's no harm or foul in that.
Yeah.
But I promise you, Jeff, with all my heart and soul, that place means more to me than anything else in this world. Why? Because I learned a lot from that, and I gained so many things from it, and I gained so many friendships from it, and I gained a career that I never in a million freaking years thought I would ever have, despite how determined I was and how much I loved the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that all being said, if I'm guilty of anything, and if my wife and I are guilty of anything, it's for being a very good family man, doing something that I didn't have as a kid, which is a tight father, which was a person that was always there for me. I wanted to be there for my kids more than my father was ever there for me. And I've talked about it a lot on the show.
I remember when Sheila was pregnant, we had that conversation.
Yep. I wanted to be a better man than my dad ever was.
Yeah.
And I'm trying my hardest to do that. And one thing I can say right now is that I love my children more than anything else in this entire world, and there's nothing I would do for them. So if I'm guilty and my wife and I are guilty of anything, it's for protecting our family and protecting our children. That's it. On that note, I make no apologies for anything other than protecting my family. protecting my family, protecting them from the world. That's what we're supposed to do as parents. Our parents taught us that. And then they used to say to us, you'll learn when you have a child. I learned quick. When I was going to become a father, I learned that there isn't anything that my mother wouldn't have done for me, and there is now nothing that I won't do for my kids. Nothing. I would lay down in front of a truck tomorrow if it meant my kids being safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm kind of going off in two different situations, but it all has to be tied into another because Dylan plays baseball, Dominic plays baseball. We live in this community. I love this community. Been here pretty much my whole life. Yes, I went back to New York for a little bit. Yes, that's where I met Sheila. Yes, we came back. But Boynton Beach and the city I grew up in means more to me than New York ever did. Why? Because I have more years here.
Yeah.
And I have more friends here.
Yeah.
So I'm doing everything because I care about this community and I care about helping children. And I care about truly making that place a better place, not for money, for it just being a better place and something that we would have died for growing up as kids. And that is having a great place to play baseball and make memories to last a lifetime. So I don't want to make this too much of a somber show. I really don't, between Matt and his birthday, and just did a lot of thinking over the last couple of weeks and where my life is going. I've thought about moving. And I've talked to you about it.
Yeah.
I've thought about legitimately moving because at one point or another, I'm asking myself, why am I doing this? Why am I putting all this pressure on myself to make this happen? Why am I taking out loans that I may never get back?
Yeah.
That I may never be able to pay for? Okay. Why am I doing all this? And the answer I keep coming up with? I keep doing it because of you and of people that I've met along the way that have supported me, that believe in what my vision is to make that place better because it meant that much to us growing up. And now it means that much to us as adults.
Yeah.
So, I just, however you want to comment on what I just said, you're more than welcome to, but I just want people to understand how much I am doing this because I do care, not because of money. Because let me tell you something, Jeff. Tomorrow, that building was up and a hurricane came blowing through it. What do I have left?
Nothing.
Or if it doesn't work, what do I have?
Nothing.
Other than a big bill.
Oh, yeah.
So, and despite all of the criticism and the doubters and people that just don't believe in what I'm really trying to accomplish and what I'm trying to do for not only my own children, but for theirs as well. There's no guarantees in this. Nothing. I don't have a crystal ball.
Right.
I can't tell you that 100 people are going to walk through my door, especially now. I don't know who's going to walk through that door. What I do know is that I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to push forward. And I'm still going to do it for the right reasons. And the reasons I've been saying to everybody for the last 4 years. This is why I'm doing it. It has nothing to do with money. And I don't care about money. Money's not my driving force. I didn't get paid when I was a volunteer there, just like everybody else that's saying they are there for the kids and they're volunteering. And I respect that. I've never taken anything away from people like yourself who go out there and teach other kids, and people like Gene Ferguson or AJ or all these people that are there. I love what they're doing. I love what they're doing to help kids. But just because you don't agree with something, and maybe it's your opinion, you're entitled to it, doesn't mean that I'm doing it for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Just means that we have a difference of opinion of why I'm doing it. And that's fine. But we could sit down and talk. We can sit down and do something positive, because at the end of the day, who is it for? It's not for me. I don't play baseball anymore. I don't.
No.
If I wouldn't throw a baseball tomorrow, I probably need Ben Gay for about a week.
Trust me, I know. I have to do warm-ups. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm just doing this because it means that much to me. That's it. That's all I'm doing it for. I'm doing it because this place means that much to me. everything in this world that has revolved around baseball has led me back to that place.
Yeah.
Everything. So that's it.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of baseball,
Okay. Yeah, you need to get this a little loud because I can't really talk very loud too either because of
I
being
can tell.
sick.
Yeah.
So I can't. I don't have
the
the energy.
dramatic
I don't.
effect we had me with, and
I
then I
don't-
forgot that you were
Yeah.
not feeling good.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be so somber. I have a very sore throat still. So
All right, so let's do a couple things here. All right, let's have a little fun.
Sure.
I know we usually always talk baseball stuff, and very rarely do we get off on other stuff. So Super Bowl happened on Sunday. Mixed reviews on a lot of things. I've heard it was a boring game, which I can understand as a Dolphin fan, watching the Dolphins' explosive offense all season, then yes, that bored me. It didn't bore me though. I really found it interesting that you had one of the you had the best running back in the league not break 100 yards. But I've made my comment on here before that I'm not a Patrick Mahomes fan. I made it on social media when I had an account, and throughout time I've said I can't stand Patrick Mahomes. I can't stand the guy, but he earned my respect on Sunday. Like he earned my respect.
you
It was
still
one of
owe
those-
me a beard shave.
It's not happening. But he earned my respect. I mean, there was I think it was like a 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 10. And that dude just took off running out of nowhere and went like 28 yards. And I'm like,
Yeah.
uh-oh. And he was so calm. And it was like, it reminded me of
Experience, man.
your Elways and your Marinos. And
Mm.
it reminded me of like, you had a minute to go and they were just like, hey, we're good, dude. Don't worry about it.
Relax.
And he was calm.
I got this.
And I think, I remember watching, I think it was in, I can't remember what friggin' movie it was in. Damn it. That's going to bother me. But anyway, it's in a movie, but he uses a clip in a Super Bowl. Joe Montana looks back and sees John Candy is at the Super Bowl. And he was like, wow, John Candy's here. That's awesome. And everybody in the huddle is like, we need to score, dude. Like, you're looking at John Candy.
Right.
And he goes, and that's when he threw the pass to whatever his name is. I don't know, somebody can respond. I think it was like Brent something, whatever. Anyway, he's the one where the famous catch where he goes in the back of the end zone, catches it. That's that same play. And everybody had said that it was so cool to see how cool and calm Joe Montana was. He was just like, oh, wow, John Candy's over there. And we're like, you get some of these kids nowadays. I mean, listen, Brock Purdy, dude, hats off, dude. I like Brock Purdy. That guy's a gangster as hell. Mr. Irrelevant, you got my vote, brother. Last pick of the draft, I like that dude.
Yeah.
But as far as it being boring, I don't think so. I was thinking it was, yes, I think I was kind of like you said earlier. I thought it was going to be more action-packed because of their offenses, but I would have never guessed those two defense showed up the way they did.
I disagree with you a little bit, and I think the sloppiness of the game is what kind of
bored it out.
What bored it out.
Yeah, it's first half especially, yes.
Yeah, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. The ending was
That was pretty badass.
best part of the game.
Yeah.
And going in, last 6-7 minutes of the fourth quarter was great, but the first 3 quarters, I don't know, man. It's just too many. It's like watching, college football, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not bringing this up by any means to drive this nail into your situation. No, I'm not. I'm just look. NIL screwed that up. Period. End of story.
they did.
So, but that's like watching a game of that kind of magnitude, not to the score effect of it, but to the fact that you expected more out of a good game. And you didn't get it.
Yep.
So while I was watching the game, I was bored because I expected 2 good offenses. Not to say I had to see it 60-60 going into the fourth.
Agreed.
I needed to see something that was great defense because there was held tight in coverage and sacks and breaking through the line of scrimmage and doing everything that is part of being defense without, these guys dropped the ball. They didn't, you know what I mean? They didn't, there was bad snaps that forced him to roll out in the pocket and pick it up really quick and get the hell out the way.
Yeah.
That's sloppy football. That's not good
If I was him,
football.
I'd want to beat that center's ass by the end of the
I
game.
think it was like 3 or 4 times.
And
It was
on,
bad.
on the same drive.
100%. Well, no, there was more after that.
Yeah, oh, I know. But
Yeah.
on that one drive,
Yeah,
he had like 3 or 4 low snaps. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I had to kick this guy in his balls, bro. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah, and that's what I mean by the sloppiness.
Yeah.
So that's why it was bad for me. And then I'll say I thought the ending was a great ending. It
Ending was pretty
it made up for a bad, in my opinion, a bad game.
Okay, so let's move on
Or
to
a boring
something.
game.
Let's move on to something more exciting.
Yeah, we got somber again.
Yeah, again, we kind of got down. Let's talk about that freaking halftime show.
Not a fan either.
Yeah, you know, okay, so it's funny. I'm so glad you said that.
I mean, the wardrobe was atrocious.
Could be. First of all, why did he come out looking like the freaking guy from the
What's with the glove?
Yeah, I didn't understand. What are you, Michael Jackson? Get out of here! And then you come out in the purple and stuff. I was like, what is it? Are you guys in the movie Dodgeball? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what's with the freaking
With the abs?
Yeah. Like, we're the we're the Cobras and we will rock you. Yeah, that's what they look like. And I'm like, you look
Wasn't a
stupid.
fan.
No, and I will say, it's okay. So if Kelly was listening, she would. If she writes, she'll tell you. I sit there watching that, and I'm like I'm talking like the first 2 songs, and I went boring, like that. And that's all I said.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Do you even like Usher?" I'm like, "I liked about maybe 3 songs."
Right.
I mean, there's a couple that I do like. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, I mean,
it wasn't very upbeat either. Like all his songs are
usually slow.
You got it bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
these are my. I mean,
yeah, my confessions.
I don't want to hear that when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'll make confessions when I'm drunk, but I don't want to listen to it.
I told her, I was like, it's funny, as I said, it being a halftime show, I said, I can guarantee you he won't perform my favorite Usher song. And she goes, what's your favorite Usher song? I said, is Let It Burn.
Yeah.
And like 2 songs later, here he starts singing it. I'm like, all right.
Right. Yeah, but
cool. But you sing the first part, and then all of a sudden you got it bad. And then I'm like, what would be bad at, because that's when they had Alicia Keys. By the way, can Usher stop sweating her ass?
Wow. Well, she has a good dunk.
I'll give you that, but do it not on live television, dude. Like,
if I was him, I would have said, "Baby got back." I'd have started Sir Mix-a-Lot in the crap out of that
my
song.
God! Like every time he walked around her, he's all just sweating it. I'm like, bro, take it easy, dude. Her husband's going to beat your ass. But anyway, so I watched that and I'm like, all right, well, cool. So they had a little guest performance. All right, awesome. And then I started thinking,
well, they said they were having guests.
And then I was like, dude, I told Kelly, I said, the only way this tops is if my boy Lil Jon comes out, and out of nowhere I could hear him pop off with "Turn Down the What," and I'm like,
I think that I will say that was probably
the best part of the whole damn thing.
Luda, and I like Luda.
I do too.
Yeah, everybody likes Luda.
How do you not? I mean,
I like him more in Fast and the Furious than I do his songs, but him and Tyrese kill me with the one-liners.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, I will say that's in the top 5 of one of the worst halftime shows I've seen in a long time.
I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan.
So,
and I'll be honest with you, it has nothing to do with the hip hop part of it or R&B or whatever you want to call Usher.
Yeah.
Because when they had Dre and Eminem and Snoop, boy, that was really good.
Yeah.
And brought me back a little old school, whatever. But dude, I liked the Rolling Stones way better. I liked Tom Petty way better.
So I was getting ready to say, what's your top 3 halftime performances? And feel free to, if anybody wants to chat on here.
Stones.
I know my 1 and 2 for sure. I'd have to think. Number 1, in my opinion, I mean, it has to be just because is Prince, man.
Prince was, by
when
far.
Prince did Miami and it was nothing but rain,
yeah.
and then he lit the stage up like purple and sang Purple Rain. I'm like, I love you.
Yeah, no. That was
and then I would say Michael Jackson would be number 2.
You see, I remember Michael a little bit, but we were what? It was 93, man.
We would have been freshmen in high school.
Yeah, I don't remember as much.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I had to rewatch some of it just to make sure, but
definitely.
But Stones were great.
Stones were great.
Bruce Springsteen was good.
Springsteen was great. Yeah, I don't know.
I couldn't.
This halftime show was. I mean, even J-Lo was better.
Yeah, Shakira. Yeah,
that was.
Yeah. So if my uncle Tracy is listening to this, I'm sure. I don't know if he usually, from what I understand, he usually gets it on Spotify.
Yeah, everybody loves it.
But and he'll love that I'm going to say this, but I mean, he has a massive crush
on Shakira.
On Shakira.
Oh, who
I mean, he flat out said, he goes, "They're singing. It's okay. I could watch her on mute and have a good evening, no problem." And I'm like, all right, so you do your thing, guy. But yeah, I mean, even that was better. 100% agree with that. But
Yeah, I thought even Timberlake when he got a little
he had a little nip slip. I mean, that was always fun too. But I mean,
Janet was good. I mean, the whole show of that
Yeah.
was good, and
Yeah, it
then
was
all of
good.
a sudden, you know, she had a
Whatever.
little wardrobe
what?
malfunction. Did you realize that they actually physically tell you now that potentially the wardrobes can malfunction?
Yeah,
before it starts?
yeah,
I've
it's funny
heard
you said that because they had a. I saw.
We're just preparing you for.
I saw it
to
on.
whip out.
I saw it on. It was either on Instagram or it was on YouTube. I can't remember what I was watching, and they said something about it's funny to see how people's wardrobes can malfunction.
Yep.
And some of them cover it really well.
Do you think that was a malfunction though?
On Janet Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you really?
Yeah, I don't think it was supposed to be that way.
I don't know about that one.
I don't. I think that, and I think it was more of I don't think she even knew it was out. And if you rewatch it, his face kind of shows like, oh crap.
Oops, did I do that?
I think it's one of them where I don't think that was supposed to happen. And that's back when that's back when I first got into radio. So I had to go through an FCC freaking course to get FCC certified to be on the air because the FCC was suing everybody. And they censored. That's when Stern had to go someplace else because they censored everything.
Yep.
Because of Janet Jackson.
Well, that's when satellite radio became very popular.
Yeah,
it was right around that time.
Sirius and XM blew up at that time, and that's one thing I always regret. I will say, funny story, and I know we're just kind of shooting the crap today, but
no guests today.
Yeah.
Well, our last show we didn't have any guests, and truthfully, we don't have to have guests every time.
Not every time.
We can
maybe next week.
Shoot the stuff.
Yeah.
I got a few announcements too from a baseball standpoint, but yeah, no guests. Go ahead, keep going.
What the hell was I saying? Oh yeah. I did apply. I did. That's the only time I ever got interviewed, and I don't know if you remember this. I think you were living in New York at the time, and I do remember calling you about it, but I don't know if you'll remember it. But I had sent in a demo tape to Howard Stern.
Oh, yeah.
That's when Howard Stern first got into XM, and
I don't think you ever did tell me that.
He was hiring for, I think it was Howard Stern 101 and Howard Stern 102, and he was hiring people. And during that time, that's when a real good friend of mine who got me into radio was Neil Rogers and passed away. So I wasn't going to apply. I was like, I was going to let Neil have it, so I'm not going to do it.
Right.
And I didn't think Howard would even say anything about it anyway.
Right.
Howard goes live on the air and says, Robin, you remember when we had, we used to talk about a guy down in Florida when we broadcast named Neil Rogers. She goes, the guy in Miami. And he goes, yeah. So he died today. He goes, but here's the thing. He goes, I wanted him here. I offered him like $3.5 million a year to sit at his house and broadcast in Canada because he's that good.
Wow.
And he goes, yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I got to send my crap in. So I sent my stuff in. So 3 months later, I get a phone call from New York. And I'm like, hello.
It wasn't me.
And I knew it wasn't you. And because I would have heard the hello and I would have been like, yeah, you're done. And I answer the phone and I hear, is this, Jeff Aubrey? And I said, yes, it is. And they said, hi, Howard Stern. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Click. And I hung up.
Did you really?
Swear to God. Dude. Awesome. I was working for Nightingale Nurses at the time. And all I hear is, yeah, Jeff, hi, it's Howard Stern. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Click. And he called back. And I answered the phone. And I even said, I'm like, dude, knock it off, asshole. I'm done with this. Like, you're not Howard Stern. He goes, how do I got to prove it to you? And it's the way he said something. And I'm like, oh, crap, this is Howard Stern. And I forgot I applied there. And he's the one hiring, not Sirius. He hired.
Right.
So I talked to him on the phone for about an hour. And we talked about doing another demo. So I had to go home and record I had to read some copy and stuff. And I ended up losing out to Bubba the Love Sponge. That's who got my job.
You serious?
That's who got the job.
You don't think you ever told me that story, but that's a great story.
Yeah, that's who got
it. Seriously.
That's who got it. And so
I mean, the fact that you freaking hung up on him.
I hung up on him. And then I even answered the phone, even chewing his ass out. Like, hey, this isn't Howard Stern. Stop. But yeah, I mean, that's where, and again, that's where satellite radio just blew up.
You ever see that movie American President with Michael Douglas?
Yeah.
when he calls her and she's like, oh yeah, thanks, Andrew. Yeah. I didn't really tell you that she had a nice ass. Yeah. And he's like, oh, okay, I got a nice ass.
All right. All right, so baseball news. What do you got?
Well, not really news. I mean, it is news.
Announcements, you said.
Yeah, I signed a couple of free agents so far.
Nice.
I had been having
Didn't want to go to the Angels?
no,
No? I thought, who was it go to?
I have somebody that's potentially me.
Where was the one I went to? Was it?
I had one in Taiwan and one over at the tomorrow. Sorry,
Where at?
Marlins.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yep.
I'm thinking of, you know who I'm thinking of.
But I have an
thinking
opportunity for another one.
I'm thinking of our boy that comes in here every now and then.
Oh, Deshaun.
Yeah, that's
Deshaun's with the Angels.
Yeah, that's who I'm
he's
thinking
already
of.
there.
Yeah.
That's
what I thought. That's why I thought you were maybe doing his contract.
But I have another guy that's currently out there that
may
hopefully get something in the next
Let's hopefully
days.
that happens.
Yeah. So
we got to find Wally a job.
Wally called me the other night. I think I called him by accident. Joe said you got to get Howard for the next show. That would, man, I would love to talk to Howard. I listened to Howard every freaking day when I lived in New York.
Yeah,
him and Mike and the Mad Dog. That was my stuff. But
wait.
Good.
Okay, go ahead.
You want to go?
No, I mean, I was going to stay on the Howard Stern thing before we got off it, but I was going to say somebody had asked me what the favorite thing Howard Stern ever did besides going back to the movie Private Parts where he gets the chick off on the freaking speaker. I don't remember that episode, so I mean, it was whatever. That was hilarious. I think the best one that I did, and I wonder if Joe that's listening out there now, if he remembers it. You remember when he had the serial killer on the show, that the guy was legit a serial killer and he just kept screaming. He's like, so what do you do? Like rape him or something like that? I mean, like, what do you do? Like, I mean, did you have like a cool saying before you kill him, or do you just kill him? Like, what exactly is it that you do? And I'm like dying laughing because I'm like, this is scripted. And then all of a sudden you could tell midway through, Howard's like, this guy's for real. Like, I think we need to alert the authorities, but he never says it. And I'm like, God, when he pops out, he goes, I mean, so do you rape him? I mean, what do you do with him? I mean, do you have fun? Like, I mean, is this fun? Dude, I was like, this is could be one of the best radio bits ever. But anyway, go ahead. What were you saying? Sorry, buddy.
No, I was gonna. So that's part of the baseball, and then we got the Wellington Classic coming up this weekend.
Yeah,
which is really cool. It's good for a great cause. We are Florida East Coast Travel USSSA is doing our give back, working with organizations, giving a portion of some funds to the Wellington Colts, their 12U team that's getting ready to go to Cooperstown this summer. It's in Wellington this weekend. If you guys want to come by, it's going to be a great weekend. 95 official teams signed up. So, Jeff,
a lot of teams.
Let's take that into perspective. Okay?
All right.
So we started in May with our launch for the league was May of 2023. We first had our first season in August, which was the fall season.
Yep.
We had 76 teams.
Yeah, I thought it was 67, but yeah, 76. Yeah.
67 was our tournament.
The tournament
in October.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So between the tournament and the league, we did 76 and 67.
Yeah.
Okay. Then this year, we have officially started our season. We also have our app that's out. Working through a couple of little bugs, but it's out.
That's part of it.
And part of the software. I mean, look, you have an iPhone. It does software updates, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Got bugs all the time. So our spring season, 105 teams.
Wow.
Our tournament, 95 teams. It's pretty good, man. And it's a testament to all our hard work. It's a testament to all our supporters that are believing in what we're doing. And what we are doing is trying to make it beneficial, a little bit more beneficial for kids, coaches, players, families, everybody.
You know what, though? I'm going to say that, yes, I agree with that comment. But I also look at it as it also shows that the community, not just in our area, but I mean, you have teams coming from Port St. Lucie, you have teams from coming up from down south. They're all here. They all know this is a benefit for Wellington to help them out.
Yep.
It just shows, hey, we're all here. We're all shooting for the same freaking goal here. So if you guys are struggling to try to get to go to Cooperstown or whatever, hey, let's try to help out.
Right.
That's what it's about to me. Anyway. I mean, I don't look at it like, I mean, I get the whole mentality of, it's going to be awesome. And it is. It's definitely doing something different. But
here's what I like to
me,
see.
It just shows the baseball community go zoop and come together.
Some people are putting their personal feelings aside. Look, we have competition out there. Some people support our competition. That's fine. Some people support us. That's awesome. But what it is, and that's a great, valid point. Even some of the teams that support our competitor are in it.
Yeah.
And even though our competitors have a tournament, so I'm cool with that, man. Like, look, there's enough room for everybody to grow together and have something that's beneficial for everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see, despite whatever said about me, whatever said about Fleetle, whatever said about Jeff or Joe or all of us as a group, we're happy to have everybody play. Why? Because it's not about us. It's about the kids enjoying the experience. I don't care. You don't have to like me. That's the beautiful part about this world. I don't have to like you. You don't have to like me. But we can be cordial to each other and we can be in the same surrounding space and make it for kids.
Mm-hmm.
My kids and your kids are going to play together. It's going to happen. It's not that big of a community.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's big, but it ain't that big.
Agreed.
Because the baseball world is small. As big as it is as small as it is. So, no reason why we all can't, I don't want to say it, get along, but there's no reason why we all can't congregate for the better of kids to go to a area and a competition that all kids dream about going to. And Cooperstown is awesome. I've never been to it. I've been up there. I've never been to the hall, believe it or not. And I am so proud that we are going to have a hand in that to help these kids go.
Yeah. All we ask is I just want Wellington to, send us some nice photos. You know what
Absolutely. And I'll ask our the head manager of the 12U, Scott Busser, who shout out to them for believing in us and doing. So they did this last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a tournament. It wasn't necessarily for Cooperstown. And in fact, it was supposed to be, I think, but something fell through or whatever. I don't want to get into the long drawn out story of it, but Perfect Game did it and didn't have as many teams.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, not saying anything about our competitor. Hey, it's a competitor. They did a good job. Dylan played in that tournament last year, and it was fun. We had a great time. Okay, so not bashing them, but we're drawing from such a wide geographical area. Jeff, we have teams coming from Cutler Bay, Key West, Naples, Florida, Vieira, Miami, Broward, Palm Beach, Treasure Coast. We are hitting almost every part of the sides,
pretty
Gulf Coast,
from Central Florida, all
Atlantic, South, North.
Yeah, it's literally like
that's pretty damn impressive, man.
You literally start West Coast, East Coast, and parts of North Florida, all the way as south as you can go to Key West. I mean, you can't go any further south than that.
Jeff, look. I did some research on it. We're not patting ourselves on the back, but this is one of the largest events that Palm Beach County has ever seen. Okay, now the World with Bat does take place here every October in Jupiter, Florida. Okay, and it's massive. I mean, it's massive. I've talked to you about that. That thing. I go there. Guy ended up getting married on the same weekend. I think Sheila did that deliberately, so I wouldn't go anymore because I was gone like a whole freaking week.
When was this?
It's October.
Who got married?
I got married the same weekend that Perfect Game was doing the World with Bat.
Yeah.
Remember? Don't you remember? Because I always used to have to go, and Jackson's birthday was that week too.
Yeah.
So I would always have to be there and then come back and go to Jackson's party or whatever. But that's a tournament that I was at religiously every year from Thursday night until Monday afternoon. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Every scout in America is there.
Yeah.
And including international too. So it's
speaking of international now, I do have a comment from Sheila that we do have a team coming from the Bahamas as well.
Thank you. And the Bahamas. I mean, so Cutler Bay is about
Sheila. You're welcome on my segue. Thank you.
I think from Cutler Bay, you could probably hock a loogie and hit the Bahamas. That's how close Bahamas is to Florida and everything. Yeah. It's like a 25-minute flight. I go there all the time. It takes longer to get my luggage on the plane than it does for the flight. Or go through security. I got TSA pre-check though.
Fair.
I got pre-check.
Oh, all right.
Pre-check and a blue check. But we have a team from the Grand Bahamas coming in to play. Right, happens to be somebody that I know. Great bunch of kids. They're competing in a 11U division, in the open division. Some of the kids on the team are 9 years old.
Well, the funny thing, what I don't think people understand is, and really, I remember hearing this conversation, so I'm probably going to repeat myself to you. But 9-year-olds there play like 13-year-olds here. And
We were talking about it last night during our board meeting.
And again, I just watched something on, I think it was ESPN or something like that, but they talked about baseball over there as far as in Cuba and the Bahamas and also in Japan, and how it's just different. And it's when they say, when we have kids that come here, and I think this is what makes me laugh, is when you have, and I should say kids, it's mostly parents. When you have parents sit back and say, oh man, my kid eats, sleeps, and dreams baseball and everything else. That's great, but they have school and they have everything else they have to do. Over there, they don't. They literally are eating, crapping, and supporting and living and loving baseball. That's all they have.
They fight for different reasons
to get out of there.
So, you know, I said this last night, and pretty much you hit the nail on the head.
Well, I'm 2 for 2 with that today.
Yeah, you are. Good job.
I'm on fire.
Good job. Somebody's got to be. I'm feeling like crap.
I got to bring up something else, though, when you're done. Now.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I've had the experience of going to some of these, you know, countries and watching youth athletics play and pros play, and they play baseball for a different reason over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, us as fathers, I love that Dylan and Dominic love playing baseball. Love it.
Yeah.
I love that they love playing it. But I don't force them to play it. And I've told this to you a million times. I don't care if Dylan and Dominic ever play baseball. I want them to love the game, not hate the game. So it for me, it's more special that they love the game than it is for them if they ever play at a high level, because I know the reality of that.
Yeah.
The reality is it's very slim chance that it's going to happen.
Agreed.
Okay. So, but when you're over there, and I say over there in different countries and different parts of the world, they're fighting for different reasons. They're fighting to get out. Mm-hmm. They're fighting to come over to America. Yeah. Why? Because we're the land of the free, the home of the brave, and everybody wants to get a nice
$700 million
Shohei Ohtani contract. They're not giving those contracts over in Japan.
No,
not even close.
Nope.
So why would you want to come over? Well, hello,
money.
So, you know, that's why they're doing it. And that's a different mentality. That's a different mentality when you're taking 500 fungos compared to dad whipping out the bucket or coach whipping out the bucket. Mm-hmm. That's a different mentality from getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and running on the beach and doing calisthenics and doing work and then going and hitting 100, you know, BP or balls during BP.
Yeah.
That's it. And then going to try to learn English and trying to learn, you know, your schooling to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Okay. And then getting back up and doing it all over again for 7 days a week.
God bless them.
It's different.
I'm already tired just listening to that.
Just listening to it. And I've seen it firsthand. Different mentality. So, you know, when you go into a tournament and you see some of these kids, it's not because our kids don't play the game right. They're just taught to play it differently to get out, to get ahead in life and get a contract like that, and maybe hopefully support their families who have lived in poverty. It's different, man. And let me tell you something. Why do you think the game has changed so much? How many international players are in today's game?
Majority of baseball, in my opinion, is international players.
What does that say?
Exactly.
So, I mean, look, the days of Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle and, you know, Babe Ruth and Derek Jeters and Alex Rodriguez and you know, that era has gotten to be a little bit less of American baseball than it has been in years past. It's Americans' pastime, and it always will be.
Well, I mean, here's your prime example, man. You're gonna. Who was your MVP for the National League and who was the MVP for the American League? American League was who? When it's Shohei Ohtani. Okay, and the National League was Ronald Acuna. So, two people that are not even from here.
Yep. And that's fine.
And
I
I'm
love
fine
it.
with that.
I love it.
And they would, I can tell you now, interview them now, and they'll tell you right now they'll never go back. They want to stay right where they're at.
Of course.
This is a great place.
Shohei, he's going to go back.
Well, yeah, he goes back for the food. But
no. He's going to go back because it's 24% tax over there.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah.
After 10 years, he'll be over there.
All right, so before we get off, because we got 10 minutes left, I had a guy, I won't mention names. I had a guy call me and had a great idea for a tournament.
Okay.
Okay.
I like it. I'm all ears.
It's called the Blackout Tournament.
Hmm.
Okay. You play at night with no lights except black lights, and you have glow in the dark balls and bats.
Oh
and
my
that's
god.
how you play.
No.
So I happen to call. Now hear me out.
I mean,
I
don't want to get hurt.
I know that, but I've heard it's. I mean, I heard it's pretty safe.
Okay.
And I think I did a little
I'd be willing to watch
research.
it.
I did a little. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. I think they did it for girls softball.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was called Midnight Run, by the way. And they play at midnight.
Mike, can you pull that up, Mike? See if you can find that.
If you can find it, it's incredible. So I talked to our good friend Cody, and I said something to him about it, and he said,
Cody Lee.
he knew what it was. He's like, "Oh yeah, the Midnight Run."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Oh, you've heard of this?" And he goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Dude, it's freaking awesome."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Well, I'll throw it to Phil and see what he thinks." I said, "I think it's going to be a safety hazard." He goes, "It's really not, man. Like the whole field's lit up in black lights." So you see everything. You see everything.
Yep.
But when that ball gets hit, you better be paying attention. It keeps you focused. He goes, but I don't think you can do a whole tournament out of it. That's what I told the guy when he brought it up to me. I said, I don't think you can do a whole tournament out of it. Maybe a game, like a finale game or a fun game, east of the north versus south or whatever. But we're going to do this in the dark.
Yep.
And I don't start it at midnight. Obviously, these kids need to go to friggin' sleep. But you started at 8 o'clock and you go until 10.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, look, I'm always willing to see something different.
Anyway, so he told me to bring it to you, so I brought it to you. So I did.
Right.
I did my job.
All right.
That's the way I look at it.
Again, Mike. You have any luck with that?
I think he
kinda
sent us the text.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'd like to see it. I'd definitely like to watch something that's something new.
Yeah, I'm texting him right now.
I mean, who did? Cody text you? Oh, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, opening day happened this weekend for you, right? In Jackson, this past weekend.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
1-0.
Baseball season's here, man.
1-0.
Full. Oh, will you stop with that, huh? I don't care if you're 1-0.
1-0.
I don't care. Well, who'd you beat?
I beat John Steen.
John who?
Reedy.
Oh, now I get it. 1-0. Oh, I get it.
No.
Oh,
Jackson played well, dude. I was sweating it, man.
Yeah.
I was sweating it. Yeah.
Why were you sweating?
First
game of the season, kind of like a jitters, or
yeah, but it's one of them where when he left travel, in October of last season, because his dad had a great idea of starting his own travel team, which I have not started yet, but that does start in the fall. So parents, be ready for your emails going out, or your flyers that you'll see on Facebook soon. I do have a Facebook page. I will say that. Feel free to go ahead and look it up. It's the East Boynton Mafia. You can find me on Facebook. Anyway, yeah. So I don't get a chance to work with him as much, and I shouldn't say I don't get a chance. It's not that I don't get a chance. I don't feel that. I need to do better at that. I need to spend the time and work with him more when we have time off.
I get it.
So I blame a lot of that on myself. But I mean, we did do some work over before the holidays and a little bit after the holidays. We did do some pitching stuff. So I was worried about that. And then because he was technically a first round draft pick, and I lost my first round pick to him. So he knew that. And I think he went into the season thinking, I'm the first round draft pick. Yeah. And then, dude, you need to calm down.
Right.
And you need to play like a first round draft pick. Don't play like a scrub. And during practices, man, he hasn't been playing well. No. And I'm like, oh, this could be bad.
Well, look, you're not supposed to play.
He struck out the first at bat,
but you're not supposed to play well in practices. You're supposed to learn.
You got to learn. But I mean, he wasn't even learning, Phil. Like, I mean, it was like the gloves getting thrown on the ground, the hats getting thrown. He's pissed off.
Did you punish him?
Oh yeah,
good.
So I told him,
listen, Jackson, if you're listening right now, Uncle Phil's got something to tell you. There's no room in baseball for that stuff.
I tell him all the time, like, you can't do that crap.
Nope.
I tell the kids, and like I said to them on opening ceremonies when we were there Friday night, and we had to line the field on the outside of the 50-70 field. We're lined the wall, like the outfield wall. And I told all of them, I said, boys, you got to remember, I always tell you, play and act like you don't know who's watching. Right. I say, I'm going to here to tell you, now you know who's here because everybody's watching.
That's right.
So act like you've been here.
Yeah.
And my team was one of the most calm, cool.
That was
and
last
collected.
year's team.
No, this is this year's team.
Oh, you told them this too? Yeah,
Oh,
but you told the
I
other
told
ones.
same,
Yeah, yeah.
My older kids, the same thing.
Not the older kids, the ones you won 16-0 in.
Oh, the undefeated season. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know we were going to talk about that. Do we have more time, Mike, that I can go into that season? No, but here's the funny thing, and this is where I'm going to make a comment about baseball family. Okay, my assistant coach that I coached with last season,
Yep.
Jamie Barbaro,
Yep,
showed up to the field on Saturday at noon with his kid played Friday night. So he has no games.
Yep.
He showed up to watch Jackson play.
Yep.
Took an hour and 45 minutes out of his day. He came to watch that kid play baseball.
Oh,
and I'm like,
nice.
I won't forget that. Neither did my son, which he struck out, and the first person that he saw was Jamie on the outside of the fence going, "What are you doing?" Like, dude, swing the bat this way, the way we taught you.
Yeah.
And then the next time he got up and he roped one up the middle and got his hit. And he came in and was my closer and struck out 3 and see you on the next one. Threw a kid out at second base, playing on as catcher. So yeah, Jackson had a good game, man. So I was happy for him. Happy for him.
Just don't throw the glove. Dominic's got the same attitude.
Yeah.
Same attitude. He's in fact, this weekend he with flag football. It was the first time I've ever actually physically done this in my entire life, as a father at least. He's been doing it a lot. He gets mad at himself. He's so competitive, so fast, so good that I don't care how good you are. I don't care how fast you are. But if you're a poor teammate and you're not supporting your teammates when they make mistakes and bringing them up instead of shaking your head and like, why didn't you catch the ball? And then getting pissed off and coming off the field and crying. I got no use for that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I love my son. Again, we talked about this earlier. My kids are my life, my world. But I still have to teach them right for wrong. I don't care how good you are, son. If you're going to do that,
with Jackson,
I have zero patience.
Yeah, with Jackson, he gets frustrated because he knows he should have done it, and that's what makes him mad.
Well, again,
and it's not like he gets mad because he dropped it. I mean, he gets mad because he dropped it. He does, and he knows he should have cut. And I got to look past that because I was just as competitive, but I didn't throw my glove and shit.
Exactly.
So that part,
I got mad at myself more than I got mad at anybody.
And that's
else.
him. And he gets mad at himself.
Well, so does Dominic. But the problem is Dominic's very boisterous and very very open with his verbiage. We only have 2 minutes left. I want to end on this situation.
Sure.
We talked about it a little bit earlier. Again, I'm not going to get somber now. I'm back up again. I want to make this 100% clear that the East Boynton Fields, again, mean a lot to me, mean a lot to Jeff, mean a lot to all of us here in the community that have grown up in Boynton Beach. I in no way have anything to do with field number 1. That has nothing to do with the project that I set out to do. That is a totally different entity that is doing that. Yes, do I know the person that's doing it? Absolutely, I know him. I've known him a long time, 14 years, since I've been in the business, since my players trained there. Is Mike Barwis a friend of mine? Yes, he has been a friend of mine for years. Am I have anything to do with the project of field number 1 that has closed down the field and disrupted the kids' season? No. I had zero to do with that. I had zero to do with it. But more importantly, I have made this clear. I am not looking to take anything away from any kid in Boynton Beach or anywhere else for that matter. I'm looking to give to kids. I'm looking to give a new part of my project is to give new scoreboards. Part of my project is to give a new digital marquee sign. Part of my project is to give a T-ball field with dugouts and lights and everything else. Okay. Part of my project is to build the facility. Those are the parts of my project that I am in charge of, and additional parking. Okay. I have zero to do with taking anything away, disrupting a season, making senior leagues go somewhere else, making high school go somewhere else. None of these things had anything to do with me. Nothing. Zero. And I'm going to do this. We talked about this weeks ago. I welcome anybody from East Point Little League to come on this show, talk to me in a very cordial manner. And
in person.
We can do it in person. We can do it over air. We can do it however you want. Okay. And I will make sure that you guys understand where I'm coming from with this project. The way everybody stood up at that City Hall meeting last Tuesday, and I watched it. I was sick in bed watching it. Okay. And how they demonstrated how passionately they felt about those fields. You're no different than me. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm saying it to be true. We all have the same intentions. You love East Point, so do I. It's not a competition how much you love it versus how much I love it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not bragging how much I love it. I love it because I grew up there.
Yeah.
And I love it because your son's playing there. And he deserves to have a great field, better than what we played on. And I love it because Micah Ferguson plays there, and he should have a better field to play on. And I love it because John Reedy's kid plays on it, and he should have a better field to play on. And I love it because Gene Ferguson's kids play on it, and they should have a better field to play on. That's why I love it. Okay? That's why I love it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I challenge, not challenge in a bad way, I challenge anybody to please come here and see where my intentions are. Please stop thinking that I'm doing this for the wrong reasons. Please understand why I am doing this. Please understand that I love East Point just as much as you do, if not more, and it's not a competition. Let's do it together. Let's do it for the right reasons. Let's stop the hatred. Let's stop the name calling. Let's stop all the different things that are going on right now. And let's truly, truly work together for the better of these kids, for the better of the community, and for the best opportunity that these kids can get. Hands down.
Yep.
Don't ask me about my financials anymore. Don't ask me where I'm getting the money. Just know that I'm doing this. Doesn't matter where I'm getting the money. If it fell out of the sky, do you care?
No. I mean, I'd ask you for some.
And I'd give you some. If I won the Powerball tomorrow, great. What difference does it make where my financials come from and where I'm getting the money from? I'm getting it.
Yeah.
I'm not stealing it. I didn't rob a bank.
Yeah.
I'm still here. I didn't get locked up for robbing the bank to build East Point's fields back up. I'm doing it because I want to. So let's all stop blaming and pointing fingers, and let's all start working together to make those fields the way they need to be. That's it. I'm tired of hearing about the fields need renovation, but I don't want to do this project. Why? Let's do it. I sat there, and I'm sorry, Mike, we're 3 minutes over, but just let me finish this. I sat there and watched a team when Dylan was playing there come up to Matt Pacilio and ask him, is this field safe to play on?
Yeah.
With a pothole in left field on field number 3.
There's 5 of them on field 3.
Yeah. And I don't take pride in that. You know why? Because I never remember playing there that we were worried about a pothole.
No. I
never remember that. And I'm not blaming anybody for not taking care of it. I just want to make sure it doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care whose fault it is. I don't care if it's the maintenance company. I don't care. I want to make that place a better place for these kids. That's it. Let's do it together. Let's stop with this hatred.
So stop with the hate and let's recreate.
It's not. It's not even a slogan anymore, man. It's really how I truly feel.
You're wanting to recreate.
I want to recreate with everyone, and every one of them should have an input, whether the city told them or not, whether they were in the know. I know there was meetings. How much they told them, I wasn't there, so how do I know?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I can promise you, I never meant to have this season. Why would I want a season? I am a baseball guy. I've said this a million times. I'm a baseball guy. I love baseball. There's not when the Super Bowl ended the other night, Guess what? Baseball's here, baby. Thank God. It's been away for too long.
Yeah.
And it's not even away for that long. Why? Because I have kids playing it constantly. But guess what? Baseball is my life. I've made it my life. I don't want to see 1 minute of it go away. And I don't want to see one kid not have an opportunity to play on a nice field. You know, I remember when Miller Park was redone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They redid the dugouts and they put the Miracle League field there.
Yeah,
man, that community came together.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it. And I kept thinking to myself, I want that for us. Everybody used to hate on Jesse DeBrowner, said it during the city hall meeting. And you know what he said? He said, most people didn't want to go to East Point to play. Why? I don't like hearing that. Why? Because I took pride in where I played.
Yeah.
So I want it to be a better place to play. And I want these people to understand that. And if I got to go knock on door to door like I'm running for mayor, which I am not, by the way.
Yeah, don't do that.
I wouldn't win.
No.
I would do it
No.
just to knock on everybody's door to explain to them why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I have kids too, guys. Don't forget, I'm a father. And I'm a father whose kids play this game.
Both.
So, on
All
that
right,
note, if you got anything else to close with,
I do not. I got nothing.
cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Mike, thank you. Sorry we went over about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Really, truly appreciate it.
You can kick us in the balls when we're done.
I hope we see everybody at Wellington Classic
That's
this
gonna be
weekend.
awesome.
Olympia Park, Village Park of Wellington, and Tiger Park. 95 teams. We start Friday night is our opening ceremonies. Starts at 6 or about 5:30, 5:45.
Yeah, that's what you said.
And we'll see you next time. Thank
All
you
right,
very
guys.
much. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I've been staring at him the whole time, Mike.
Yeah.
I apologize.
all right.
What
So,
is- so what is that?
That is those are the teams. That's the two softball teams that played in the Midnight Run tournament.
Okay.
So as you can tell, it's starting to light up in the back because the rule of it is they played from midnight until 5 a.m. They had multiple teams playing that, and they play with black lights and glow in the dark crap.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to find the video on YouTube. When I go home.
So how did you, Mike, how did you get that picture? Is that was on YouTube?
It's on Google, I think.
Google?
Yeah,
Okay.
Google Magic. Yeah,
I'm going to take a look at it.
but yeah, it's not a bad idea. So I mean, for the older kids, I wouldn't do it for the freaking 8 and 9
Well, remember when they used to do midnight or
Rock and Bowl,
Rock and
bro?
Bowl,
Yeah,
and Kitty's stupid ass used
Would
to
do
do a freaking
split.
split?
yeah. I want to see his big ass do it now.
Yeah, it'll break a groin.
Good lord. All right,
Well, anyways,
let's get off here.
hey, thank you very much.
You got it, brother.
Sorry, folks, that we were gone for 2 weeks, but we're back and we're better than ever. And we're going to see you next time on The Diamond.
The Diamond.
See ya.